speed impresses the crowd. Control wins the game. Chris Paul never relied on overwhelming athleticism. He did not dominate through size. He did not intimidate with vertical explosion. His dominance came from something quieter. He understood tempo. Most players believe faster equals better. Faster equals pressure. Faster equals dominance. But speed without control creates mistakes. Mistakes create openings. Chris Paul does not create chaos. He creates discomfort. Discomfort in defenders. Discomfort in pace. Discomfort in rhythm. He slows the game until impatience reveals weakness. Weakness is rarely physical first. It is emotional. When a defender wants the possession to move faster than it should, Chris Paul waits. When a defender lunges to speed him up, he pulls back. When the crowd demands urgency, he breathes slower. Breathing is power. A calm nervous system sees angles more clearly. It reads spacing before it shifts. It recognizes imbalance before it happens. Most players react to the defense. Chris Paul prepares the defense to react. Preparation is mental dominance. He dribbles deliberately, not to stall, but to observe. Observation creates data. Data creates advantage. Advantage creates inevitability. He understands that impatience belongs to youth. Patience belongs to mastery. When defenders reach, he absorbs contact. When they retreat, he steps into mid-range space. When they hesitate, he splits the gap. Hesitation is defeat, and he manufactures hesitation by refusing to rush. Refusing to rush is a decision. He does not allow the moment to dictate his pace. He dictates the moment's pace. Pace is power. When the game speeds up, he slows it. When the game tightens, he steadies it. When pressure rises, he controls breathing. Control over self equals control over environment. The crowd may be loud. The score may be tight. The defender may be longer and younger. None of that changes tempo. Tempo lives inside him. He learned early that dominance does not require explosion. It requires manipulation. Manipulation of time. Manipulation of spacing. Manipulation of emotion. Emotion clouds judgment. He does not cloud. He clarifies. This is where mental edge begins. Not in athletic highlight. Not in flashy moves. In steadiness. Steadiness makes others uncomfortable. Because when one player refuses to rush, the rest of the floor must adjust. Adjustment creates vulnerability. Chris Paul thrives in vulnerability. He sees defenders leaning before they know they are leaning. He recognizes fatigue before it shows on the scoreboard. He senses frustration in body language. Frustration speeds players up. Speed under frustration creates mistakes. Mistakes are his currency. He is not hunting the spectacular. He is hunting the small edge, the extra dribble, the half step, the shift of balance. Small edges compound. Compounding creates control. Control creates confidence. Confidence removes panic. This brings us to the second transformation. Mind over muscle. Chris Paul has faced taller defenders his entire career. Longer arms, higher reach, greater vertical ability. But height does not determine authority. Authority is mental. He neutralizes physical disadvantages through positioning, through angles, through anticipation. Anticipation is intelligence applied early. He knows where help defense will rotate before it moves. He understands how big men drop in coverage. He knows which defender will bite on a hesitation and which one won't. Knowledge removes uncertainty. Uncertainty creates doubt. He plays without doubt because his preparation eliminates it. Preparation builds internal certainty. When certainty exists, hesitation disappears. Hesitation slows explosive athletes. He slows them down by staying balanced. Balance is discipline. He does not overextend. He does not lunge. He does not overcommit. He forces defenders to overcommit instead. Overcommitment is a mental mistake. He uses his body as leverage, not force. He bumps at the right moment. He shields space with angles. He keeps defenders on his hip like he owns the lane. Ownership is psychological. If you believe the space belongs to you, defenders feel it. They begin to react instead of dictate. He is not the most physically gifted on the court, but he is often the most aware. Awareness beats athleticism when pressure rises. Late-game possessions expose mental wiring. Some players tighten. Some players rush. Some players avoid responsibility. Chris Paul becomes calmer. Calm does not mean passive. Calm means clear. Clarity produces clean reads. Clean reads win possessions. He does not rush the shot to silence the crowd. He does not force a drive to prove dominance. He takes what the defense gives, then takes what it does not expect. Expectation is powerful. When defenders expect speed, he slows. When they expect pass, he scores. When they expect shot, he manipulates. Manipulation is mental superiority. He does not win by overpowering. He wins by understanding. Understanding creates advantage before the ball even moves. He has already processed rotations before they happen, already calculated angles, already anticipated fouls. He is playing the next move while others are reacting to the current one. That is mental chess. Chess is patient. Chess is deliberate. Chess punishes impatience. Chris Paul punishes impatience. And because he refuses to rush, defenders eventually do. When they rush, he wins. When they panic, he controls. When they doubt, he decides. This is the foundation of his mental edge. Not speed, not flash. Control. Control over tempo. Control over space. Control over emotion. And when you control those three things, you control the game. Dominance is not always loud. Sometimes it is subtle. Sometimes it is invisible until it is too late. Chris Paul understands something most players never master. The game is not only physical, it is psychological. And psychology wins long before the shot is taken. He does not just attack defenders. He studies them. He notices how they react to contact. He tracks how referees respond to certain movements. He observes who bites on fakes and who stays disciplined. Observation builds leverage. Leverage is power without force. When Chris Paul draws a foul, it is rarely accidental. It is prepared. He knows how a defender is positioned. He knows how to stop short. He knows how to create contact that looks natural. He does not complain about referees. He adapts to them. Adaptation is intelligence in motion. He understands that details decide games. Where your feet are placed, how your shoulder angles, how your eyes shift. Small signals influence defenders subconsciously. Subconscious manipulation is elite-level warfare. He might dribble twice at the top of the key not to advance, but to test reaction speed. He might hold the ball half a second longer to see who reaches. Reaching is emotion. Emotion creates opportunity. He plays with defenders' expectations. If he drives twice in a row, he pulls up the third time. If he feeds the big man early, he keeps it late. Unpredictability controlled by intention is terrifying. It makes defenders question themselves. Questioning slows reaction. Slower reaction creates space. Space becomes advantage. Advantage becomes inevitability. He does not waste movements. He does not waste energy. Every dribble has purpose. Purpose sharpens execution. Execution builds trust. Trust builds composure. Composure allows him to remain calm when others unravel. Psychological warfare is not trash talk. It is positioning. It is timing. It is knowing that frustration spreads faster than confidence. He will slow the game when the opponent wants speed. He will speed it up when the opponent is tired. He forces emotional shifts. Emotional shifts break structure. Structure breaking creates chaos, and chaos benefits the prepared. Chris Paul is always prepared. Now we move into leadership. Leadership is not about volume, it is about stability. When teams are chaotic, he becomes steady. When young players rush, he slows them. When emotions flare, he lowers the temperature. Temperature control wins close games. He speaks through pace. He communicates through posture. He signals calm through breathing. Breathing regulates the room. A composed leader gives teammates permission to breathe. Breathing clears vision. Clear vision creates better decisions. He does not scream dominance. He demonstrates it. He will pull the ball out instead of forcing a contested shot. He will reset a possession instead of chasing momentum. Resetting is discipline. Discipline preserves opportunity. Teammates trust leaders who do not panic. Panic spreads like fire. Calm spreads like gravity. Gravity pulls everything into alignment. He aligns teammates by showing them that the moment is manageable. Manageable moments create confidence. Confidence produces execution. Execution produces belief. Belief builds culture. This is why he transforms teams. Not through hype, through clarity. He understands that basketball is a series of micro-decisions, and the team that makes the clearest decisions most often wins. Clarity requires emotional regulation. Emotional regulation requires identity. Chris Paul's identity does not fluctuate. Win or lose, up 10 or down 5. young roster or veteran roster. His posture stays consistent. Consistency builds credibility. Credibility builds authority. Authority shapes environments. When the ball is in his hands late, teammates feel calm because they know the possession will have structure. Structure under pressure is rare. Rare players shape outcomes. He does not rush to prove he is in control. He simply demonstrates it. Demonstration builds trust faster than speech. Speech inspires. Stability sustains. He sustains. Sustaining greatness is harder than achieving it. He does it by refusing to be emotionally hijacked. Hijacked players lose clarity. Clear players win. Chris Paul's mental edge is not highlight reel athleticism. It is surgical discipline. It is knowing when to wait, knowing when to strike, knowing when to reset, and knowing that nothing on the court is faster than a calm mind. Let the pace slow, not because the game demands it, because you demand it. You are not rushed. You do not chase tempo. You do not allow noise to dictate your rhythm. Rhythm belongs to you. You understand now what most never grasp. Speed does not equal power. Control equals power. You control the dribble. You control the breath. You control the possession. The possession does not control you. When the game accelerates, you decelerate. When the moment tightens, you loosen internally. Your breath remains steady. Steady breath equals steady mind. Steady mind equals clear vision. Clear vision equals clean execution. You do not panic when pressure rises. Pressure sharpens you. Pressure narrows your focus. Pressure slows everything down. You see angles others miss. You see spacing before it opens. You see imbalance before it shifts. Because you are calm. Calm is your weapon. You do not need to overpower. You outthink. You do not need to outrun. You outwait. Waiting is not hesitation. Waiting is preparation. You prepare the defense to react. You set traps through patience. You manufacture hesitation. Hesitation belongs to them. Clarity belongs to you. You do not waste movements. Every step has purpose. Every dribble has intent. Every look gathers information. Information becomes leverage. Leverage becomes advantage. Advantage becomes inevitability. You are inevitable, not because you are loud, not because you are explosive, because you are disciplined. Discipline is silent power. You do not force outcomes. Forced outcomes collapse. You allow the defense to reveal itself. Revelation is control. You dictate pace. You dictate emotion. You dictate outcome. Emotion does not hijack you. Frustration does not alter you. Crowds do not speed you up. You remain steady. Steadiness builds trust. Trust builds leadership. Leadership builds culture. When you are calm, others calm. When you are clear, others focus. When you breathe, others breathe. You anchor the moment. Moments shrink around you. They do not overwhelm. You reset when others rush. You read when others react. You decide when others hesitate. Decision-making is dominance. You dominate through clarity. Say this internally now. I control the pace. I never rush. I see before I act. I wait before I strike. My breath is steady. My mind is clear. My decisions are clean. Pressure sharpens me.
Chaos slows for me.
Emotion does not control me. I dictate rhythm. I dictate tempo. I dictate outcomes. My calm is my advantage. My patience is my weapon. My clarity wins possessions. I'm composed. I am deliberate. I am in control. And the game bends to my pace.